Wu Ming Divine Sovereign, is this how cold and thin your eternal night Divine Kingdom's hospitality is? Divine Sovereigns Meng Conchen and Hua Fuchen arrived together, a spectacle of world-shaking grandeur, yet they were blocked outside a chilling barrier. This treatment did not surprise either Divine Sovereign in the slightest, nor did they attempt to break the barrier. Instead, they stopped there, their expressions carrying a subtly meaningful nuance. Scram, soul-piercing, sharp, hostile sound nearly drilled through their ears. Your filthy, lowly male aura has already defiled this sovereign's eyes and ears. Scram immediately. Heh! Meng Conchen gave a cold laugh, calling out his name directly. Shen Waianai, are you not going to give this Meng a satisfactory explanation? Explanation? Ha 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 ha. Laughter was as mournful as an owl's shriek, sending chills down one's spine. Your dream-weaving and heaven-breaker colluded, ambushing my eternal night divine maiden in God's slumber-forbidden zone, causing her to be severely injured and nearly perish. This sovereign, considering we are in pure land, has temporarily refrained from attacking. What face do you have to demand a so-called explanation from this sovereign? Indeed, even becoming a divine sovereign can never erase filth, lowliness, and baseness in your blood and bones. Meng Conchen was not angered in slightest, but instead smiled faintly. Hey, you and I both know what truth is. Hua Fuchen also smiled faintly. Brother Meng, it is just as I said, to be a divine sovereign of a divine kingdom, yet to openly reverse heavenly order in front of one another, truly worthy of being Wu Ming divine sovereign. He emphasized two words, Wu Ming, no light/ignorant, his gentle words filled with sarcasm. Blindness of eyes can still observe world with heart, but heart so blind that it deceives others and oneself. That is truly utmost sorrow beyond salvation. In an instant, temperature of surrounding space plummeted. Eternal night maidens and abyss knights nearby all felt a chill throughout their bodies. As divine sovereign most easily provoked, one who might go mad at any moment even without provocation, Shen Waianai's reaction was utterly unsurprising. Wu Ming Divine Sovereign's rage was enough to make entire Eternal Night Divine Kingdom tremble, but how could it intimidate two divine sovereigns? Hua Fuchen's brow slightly furrowed, his voice also cooling several degrees. Shen Waianai, you repeatedly question what face we have, yet this Hua's and Brother Meng's faces are now clearly displayed beneath heavenly light of this pure land, without slightest concealment, for all spirits in heaven and earth to look up and behold. And you, Shen Waianai? Heh! Hua Fuchen let out a faint, sarcastic laugh, and Meng Conchen immediately took over his words. A dignified Wu Ming divine sovereign, when meeting Abyss Emperor in this pure land, must cover her body with a palanquin and conceal HR face with a black curtain. Why does Wu Ming divine sovereign know that her face is so ugly that it is hated by gods and men, feared by ghosts, and abandoned by all spirits, so she must heavily conceal it, daring not to show it to anyone? Seeking. Death, boom, a terrifying gust of dark wind swept up. Instantly, heavenly light dimmed sharply, and surrounding space seemed to plunge into an icy hell. Such deliberate derogatory remarks could not anger any other divine sovereign. They would only invite ridicule from opponent. Yet they struck directly at Wu Ming divine sovereign's vital point. The more one conceals, the more one cares. Cold wind howled, killing intent filled sky, causing robes of divine sovereigns Meng Conchen and Hua Fuchen to flutter. Your Excellency, quell your anger, Shen Wuming's voice urgently sounded. This is pure land, you must not strike. If your Excellency acts in anger, you will fall right into opponent's trap. Cold domain and killing aura suddenly paused, but Hua Fuchen spoke lightly, adding fuel to fire. Wu Ming Divine Sovereign truly worries too much. Those qualified to step into pure land are all of noble birth and exceptional cultivation. Even if they are horrified and trembling in soul by Wu Ming Divine Sovereign's ugliness, they would never speak it aloud or show it in their expression. Meng, Kong, Chen, Hua, Fu, Chen. Shen Waianai's voice was already trembling to point of being almost inaudible. Upon hearing it, even Abyss Knights 10 miles away felt their hearts and souls ache as if about to shatter. Remember well what you said today. One day, this sovereign will surely make you pay price. Will surely make you regret every single word spoken today. Shen Waianai's fury reached such a peak that even eternal night maidens close to her had never witnessed it. They all trembled like sieves, their faces white as paper. Several were already swaying, their bodies flickering like residual candles in wind. Her cruelty and terror in eternal night divine kingdom were evident. Your Excellency, quell your anger, Shen Wuming repeatedly pleaded in a hoarse voice. At this moment, her figure stepped out of barrier, standing before Meng Kongchen and Hua Fuchen. She hastily bowed. "To divine sovereigns, explanation you seek has neither proof nor basis. Only one thing is certain. Sword wound on my eternal night divine maiden was indeed created by heaven-folding sword intent. This is upon pure land, not? That is correct, neither proof nor basis." Meng Kongchen interrupted her words. His faintly lowered silver gaze caused Shen Wumink's spirit to instantly collapse, her entire body shuddering. Otherwise, why would this sovereign only move his lips and tongue? Enduring gaze of Wumeng divine sovereign at such close proximity, Shen Wumink felt as if every single one of her soul strings was clearly and completely exposed beneath his divine eyes. With just a thought, an instant, he could easily destroy them, like withered threads crumbling into dust. God's slumber forbidden zone was not under anyone's gaze, so Eternal Night Divine Maiden's attempt to kill Yun Qi had only Yun Qi's side of story, without any proof. "Wu Ming Divine Sovereign, calm yourself." Meng Kongchen's eyes narrowed slightly, glancing obliquely at barrier behind him, his eyes faintly flowing with a pale silver radiance. This Meng's visit is not to demand accountability, but to return an item. Whoosh! With a soft sound, a silver folding fan unfolded in Meng Kongchen's hand. On fan's surface, ink flew and scattered, every character unrestrained, and it contained a faint divine aura that even long years had failed to completely erase. Signature at end of fan's rib, written with extraordinary flair, was none other than Shen Wuxuyan. Though Shen Waiyanai could not see, her other four senses far surpassed those of ordinary people. In first instant, she captured aura that she could never forget, an aura that even now tormented her in eternal dark night. That person's thing? Her rage and killing intent suddenly collapsed, and cold suppression of space instantly turned into uncontrolled turbulence. Where did you get such a filthy thing? That beast's belongings should have been completely erased from world by this sovereign. Looking at characters on folding fan, Shen Wumink's eyes suddenly became dazed, as if her soul had fled. Meng Kongchen said lightly, 10,000 years ago, on eve of this Meng inheriting divine sovereign position, Shen Wuxuyan specially came to bid farewell, lamenting that there would be no more brother Meng, only title of divine sovereign. This fan, forged from Yupo divine jade, was gift Shen Wuxuyan gave me back then. This Meng was suddenly inspired and invited him to leave ink on fan. He asked what topic I wished for, and I told him to write whatever was most on his mind at time. These are characters on fan. Night Patrol Envoy. Meng Kongchen's gaze turned towards Shen Wumink again. Why don't you read out what is written on fan for your Wu Ming divine sovereign? Shen Wumink's lips parted, but she could not utter a single word. In her ear, Shen Waiyanai's hostile voice suddenly exploded. Read! Shen Wumink's entire body trembled, nearly spitting blood. Her throat violently convulsed, and only then did she manage to utter the characters on fan with difficulty. Gentle wind brushes jade shadow, bright moon reflects inch of heart. Chaotic coldness, suppression, and killing intent suddenly froze. Entire world abruptly fell into an eerie silence. Gentle wind, bright moon, Zihua. Shen Wuxihua, a sudden wailing sound echoed in everyone's ears. It was disordered true god aura stirring space's tremor. Ha ha, ha ha, ha 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 ha. Shen Waiyanai let out a maniacal laugh, every sound hoarse, every sound mournful. Shen Wuxuyan, several thousand years. It has been several thousand years. Such hypocrisy and filth left behind by you still remain in this world, and once again defile this sovereign's ears. You deserve to be cut into 10,000 pieces. You deserve to die without a burial place. This folding fan, and characters upon it, Hua Fuchen was also seeing for first time. He slightly lowered his brow, his state of mind momentarily complex. Gentle wind brushes jade shadow, bright moon reflects inch of heart. Every character was affection, every character was yearning. Name Zihua seemed even more deeply engraved in his heart. Shen Wuxuyan, Shen Wuxihua, was truth of that time truly just as rumored, and who exactly betrayed whose true feelings? Damn it, damn it, damn it. Die, screams of rage like a desperate she-wolf, like a heartless evil spirit were spine-chilling. Meng Kongchen tossed folding fan onto ground. After today, my dream weaving and eternal night have only enmity, no grace. This item, it is only right to return it. He coldly stared at intensely trembling black palanquin behind barrier, then turned and walked away side by side with Hua Fuchen, leaving with cold indifference. Even after they had gone far, Shen Waiyanai's hysterical cries still echoed in air. How was it? Hua Fuchen asked. HMPH? Meng Kongchen sneered. Much easier than I expected. After all, she is essentially a madwoman, her soul flaws so great that I even felt disdain to act for a few moments. But his eyes suddenly turned cold, his soul might awe-inspiring. Dare to touch my Yuaner, no matter who it is, they must pay a price they will regret for rest of their lives, Hua Fuchin suddenly said. Back then, after Shen Wuxian's incident, you sighed for a long time, and after that you always avoided discussing anything related to him. Your friendship with Shen Zuyan was not shallow, so I assumed that events of that year were not entirely as rumored. Meng Kongchen shook his head. Grudges and favors, rights and wrongs, when they fall upon oneself, they are a tangled mess. How can one easily clarify karma of others? I can only say, from what I know, saw, and felt, Shen Wuxian was not heartless towards Shen Wuxihua back then, in fact, quite opposite. His voice paused, and he continued. However, as a divine son, his bones were engraved with an overly heavy male pride. Facing Shen Wuxihua, who surpassed him in every aspect, his deeply rooted nature led to his words and actions being extremely inconsistent, even frequently making foolish moves for sake of so-called divine son dignity. The bitter fruit he ultimately brewed, was it not also self-inflicted? Hua Fuchin nodded, no longer pressing question. Brother Yun, we've arrived. Passing through layers of Pure Land divine guards stationed here, what appeared before their eyes was a rather large, magnificent hall. 10,000 Dao Divine Pavilion. At hall's entrance, a tall man stood proudly. He had dark green long hair, his face was stern like an ice sculpture, his eyes held a hidden coldness, and he carried a 7-foot sword sheath on his back. Without revealing blade, it released a chilling coldness that made all spirits retreat. Uncle Changying? Hua Keilei's call confirmed his identity to Yun Qi, one of 4 Pure Land divine attendants, close attendant of Wen Dao divine official, Changying. A cold, spiritless gaze swept lightly over Yun Qi and Hua Keilei. Divine attendant Changying slightly nodded. Master has given instructions, enter. Hua Keilei took Yun Qi's hand, leading him directly into hall, whispering at same time. Uncle Changying doesn't like to talk much, but he's not mean. Just ignore him. Summoned by Abyss Emperor, and with 6 smiles and Ling Xian divine officials interceding for him, name Yun Qi now resounded like thunder across Pure Land. But as Yun Qi and Hua Keilei passed by Changying, he remained completely unblinking, and even his aura did not linger on Yun Qi. Such cold indifference suggested he was a person who adhered strictly to rules. Yun Qi noted his appearance, aura, and his assessment of him. Grandpa Wanda, we're here. Following Hua Keilei's clear call, Yun Qi's steps also entered hall. In an instant, it was as if world had changed, heaven and earth inverted. A dense aura, seemingly spanning 10,000 ages, surged towards him like a tide, instantly enveloping his entire body. This aura was so profound and intense that Yun Qi's senses went blank for several moments. That extreme ancient solemnity, vastness, and deep composure seemed to have billions of stars quietly flowing in depths of hall, as if coming from age of gods that should have long passed. 10,000 Dao Divine Pavilion, treasure trove carrying 3 million years of Pure Land's history and foundation. In first moment of Yun Qi's arrival, his original expectations were completely overturned. Aura filling this place was absolutely incomparable to mere density of a divine kingdom's single divine power. It was as if it carried endless vastness of entire abyss's history, every trace of aura narrating Pure Land's supreme foundation. In ancient times, previous text mentioned ultimate flame of vermilion bird spirit solace melody, which was then named Thousand Feathers Extinguishing Nether Melody. However, due to its extreme antiquity and fact that vermilion bird flame would not appear in early stages, it was completely forgotten. Thus, I could only forcefully activate the Nirvana Devil Time Wheel Bead, using Dark, Sinful Hand of Karma to change Thousand Feathers Extinguishing Nether Melody in previous text to current Ashes and Calamity Mercy Song. Let's just pretend nothing happened. Epsilon equals Omicron. Deep thanks to all little friends for reminding me.